Welcome to the channel. You all know that NTA has already released the dates for the UGC-NET exams. It will be conducted from November 20 till December 5. From now onwards, you have approximately 23 days left for the exam. So, without further ado, let's directly go to the 23-day strategy plan. And if you are new to the channel, do like, subscribe and leave your comments below. So let's first divide the level of preparation of aspirants into three categories. First is not prepared, second is prepared, and third is being well prepared. So not prepared is the level where aspirants have not finished studying yet or may not have finished 50% of the portions. Second is being prepared. Being prepared is the level where students may have finished studying but are yet to do their mock tests or revision. They also do not feel confident enough to write the exam. And third is being well prepared, where students feel completely exam ready. So, before asking you if you are well prepared to write the exam, let me tell you what being really well prepared for the exam means. Being well prepared is an ideal state which may seem unrealistic, but every aspirant or student should strive hard to achieve it. A well prepared student is the one who has studied all the topics mentioned in the syllabus of both paper 1 and paper 2. Should have revised at least 3 to 4 times. By revising, I do not mean mechanically reading something again and again. By revision, I mean your ability to recall what you had studied, be it MDG or SDG in paper 1 or any other concept in paper 2. Can you recollect what you studied 2 days back or maybe yesterday? If the answer is no, then you need to change the way you study. Lastly, a well-prepared student should have not only gone through past year question papers, preferably 3 to 5 years, but should have also tried to solve past papers and given mock tests in a simulated environment, just like the way it is done on the day of the NET exam. Along with this, one should have also evaluated and meticulously analyzed his or her answer papers using the official answer key. Evaluation and analysis is the most important aspect of being well prepared. Therefore, you should have done all of this by now. But just in case you have missed out on any of these, then just try to do it in the next 23 days. You still have ample time to work on your weaknesses and improve yourself. So now let's see how you can plan your studies from now on. Before I start discussing the weekly plan, I just want to tell you that before you start studying or revising, ensure that you have your syllabus and previous year question papers in front of you. These two things are nothing less than your guiding light, which will help you in finding out the important areas and what to study and what not to study. So now let's discuss the weekly plan. Currently, you have approximately 23 days left. So what you can do is make a timetable and divide these 23 days into 4 weeks of 5 days or 6 days each as per your convenience. So let's say the first 12 days out of 23 days can be divided into week 1 and week 2 comprising 6 days each. And let the remaining 11 days be divided into week 3 and week 4 when you completely focus on revision and mock tests. Remember that week 1 and week 2 is the time when you have to study the most and work the hardest. So let's discuss the strategy for week 1 and 2. For the people who have not prepared enough or who feel so, can focus on studying all the important topics and chapters for the exam during week 1 and 2. You should first go through the syllabus and then the past papers 2-3 times and mark or write down important topics and chapters and study accordingly. Remember that at this stage you need to study the topics mentioned in the syllabus in depth and should not focus on studying entire chapters. Depending on your level of preparation now, you should change your strategy. If you are not prepared, then don't try to read entire chapters. Take the help of the syllabus and the past papers and study accordingly. You can first focus on question papers from June 2019 onwards and later, if time permits, focus on last 5 or 10 year question papers. So during the first 2 weeks, you should completely focus on studying and revising old topics as well as what you have studied that day. If you study 10 topics on day 1, then you should revise the same topics in the evening. Suppose you are unable to revise it on the same day, then you should definitely revise it the next morning. This method of revising will help you in retaining old or new concepts for a longer time. What you study today should not be revised after 1 week. Revise it once the same day or the next day and then revise it again during the same week. You should also ensure that you work very hard during week 1 and 2 so that by week 3 and 4 you don't feel stressed out. You can spend 6 to 8 hours daily or maybe even more if you still haven't prepared well for the exams. When I say 6 to 8 hours, it is not a hard and fast rule. If you are a fast learner, then you need to study for lesser hours and it depends on what works for you. So plan based on what suits you best. For the ones who have covered 90 to 95% of the syllabus should complete the remaining topics during week 1 and 2. People who feel prepared can devote 3 to 5 hours on revision and focus on solving at least one mock test daily from week 1 and 2 itself. Free test series as well as paid test series are available online. Make use of it. If due to any reason you can't do these test series, then try to solve past year question papers but in a simulated environment. Don't forget to time yourself. Don't take even a second more than 1 hour for paper 1 and 2 hours for paper 2. Don't forget that time management is an important factor to clear this exam. Initially, you need not write full-length tests comprising both paper 1 and 2. You can first solve topic-wise mock tests. By topic-wise mock tests, I mean solving questions related to specific areas that are difficult for you, be it math or research aptitude or comprehension in paper 1 or specific topics in paper 2. Based on the level of your preparation, you can decide for yourself. Before discussing week 3 and 4 strategy, I just want to tell you that the most important aspect of test series is that after completing your practice test, you should evaluate and analyze the way you have performed in these tests. The mistakes you make in your first mock test should not be repeated in the second test. Therefore, remember that you manage your time well while writing these tests and evaluate and analyze them after you are done with the test. Simply attempting tests and not analyzing where you went wrong will not help you in any way. Let's discuss the strategy for week 3 and 4. In the third and fourth week, you should completely focus on revising thoroughly, attempting full-length tests and solving papers in simulated or exam-like conditions. By this I mean that you should attempt paper 1 and 2 together without taking any break in between both the papers. Because during the exam 2, you won't get any break. Use a timer and time yourself. Stick to the time and avoid any kind of distraction. After finishing the mock test, you need to check it or evaluate it. After evaluation, go through the entire paper again and see if you have lost marks due to lack of clarity with respect to a particular topic, or was it a silly mistake. Write down the analysis and ensure that you don't repeat the same mistake in the next test the next day. You should once again study the topics in which you are losing marks. One more point that I would like to add is, when you go through the past papers, go through each and every answer option given in the question paper. You should have a comprehensive understanding of the main question as well as the options given in the question paper. Many a times, these options may come as full-fledged questions in the next exam. So don't just go through the past papers, but study them and analyze them well. Before ending this video, I would like to tell you that at this stage you need to focus on three things. That is hard work, consistency and discipline. These 23 days are critical, so work very hard, especially during week 1 and week 2. You should be consistent in what you do. Revise every day, study every day, and do at least one test paper every day, at least from week 3 onwards. You may not feel motivated to study every day religiously. So rather than depending on self-motivation, focus on discipline and follow the routine that you have planned, irrespective of the fact that you feel motivated or not. Always remember that time waits for no one. So forget about the time that you have already wasted and focus on the next 23 days. You don't want to regret later that you missed NET or JRF by 0.25 marks only. So use your time wisely. Part 2 of this video containing the study techniques and some do's and don'ts for the exam will be uploaded in a few days. If you want to download previous year question papers for UGC-NET exams, go through my earlier video. I will leave the link in the description box below. Do like and subscribe. If you have any queries or suggestions, please comment below.